for the rest of that summer, we double dated and fellowshipped the whole summer with other people. It was never just the two of us. And it was just really precious. The conversations, the fun, the laughter, the wit, the jokes, he was just a funny guy. So it was just interesting. And I'm just very thankful that the Lord allowed me to meet him in that summer of 1975. And here we are.
Hey, buddy.
Hi.
So we had this wonderful summer together, which started with a large group, pared down to just 4, my cousin and her oldest sister, and we double dated for like 4 or 5 weeks straight, and it was wonderful. I had to really make a decision if this is something I was going to continue to pursue. Well, from that standpoint, that was pretty easy for me because I knew I was having the time of my life. This was really the first girlfriend I'd really ever had to challenge me, and we found out later that not only did our parents know each other, this is kind of crazy, but they double dated as teenagers before they got married. We're like, what? So anyway, I had the approval of my parents, which was wonderful, and that was important to me. It was important to have a relationship with a young lady that my parents approved of because I trusted their judgment. My dad was the greatest influence in my life. He was a man's man. My dad was like 6'2", 275, 80. He was a huge guy and wore these big fedora hats. He was a man of God. He was full of wisdom. And my mom was too. I saw the type of homemaker my mom was. I saw the loyalty she had to my father in their marriage. And I wanted that. They made marriage look fun. They made marriage look appealing. And I wanted to meet the woman that I wanted to grow together. So that's why it was important, even in high school, to find the woman that I was going to, spend the rest of my life with.
Yes, and it was just an amazing opportunity for me because I finally found someone who I could talk to and engage with current events, with the Bible, with fun things, with travel, with aspirations, dreams. I had somebody who could just about talk about everything and completely understood that I was saving myself from marriage, and I had a commitment to the Lord, and I was very serious about that commitment.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's talk about the saving yourself from marriage, because the first date we met, the first time, after we went to the beach, came back, and we kind of had a little just quiet time to talk. One of the first things she said, and she said it almost matter-of-factly, I'm saving myself for marriage, so the first time that I'm intimate, it's going to be on my honeymoon night. And I was like, well, me too. I'm saving myself for marriage, and the first time that I have intimacy, it will be on my honeymoon night. Yeah.
I was like, well, great. Well, I'm glad we agree on that. I just wanted to put that out there. And I just felt like it was so important to be honest about my stance on the Word of God, my love for God, my desire to have my degree before I really engaged in any major relationships. I was just very honest. And I think that when you're honest about where you are, it opens the door and creates that culture for the other person to be honest too. And I feel like you have more to gain by being honest in the beginning than you do if you wait just because you want a friend so bad that you just like, well, I'll just hide that part of me. I won't talk about that part of me because I don't want to compromise. But in the end, you lose. So I was very honest, and these are my non-negotiables. I had not 10 non-negotiables, and I was checking off my list as I talked to him. And so one of those was absolutely saving myself for my wedding night.
And my non-negotiables were, I'm just telling you.
Non-negotiables did you have? She had to know how to cook.
Okay. I found out early that she could cook. We went out on a picnic and she fried chicken and made some potato salad. What? I tasted that potato salad And that chicken, I was like, the one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, she checked all those marks. She was like way above academically where I was, and even spiritually. So the challenge was, Mark, are you going to be intentional about growing and maturing in God? And she helped me with that. She challenged me. She pushed me. I started taking a bus and a train to see her. A bus, train, bus to see her at her house. And it was worth it. And I'll never forget being the only one on that bus and feeling I was like the only guy in the city. As that bus took me toward her house, I made up my mind that, I'm gonna put on my big boy pants and continue to pursue Dawn. The Lord had shown us so much favor. We had had so much fun, and it was more than the fun. I mean, the fun was crazy, but just the conversation was so rich. Our parents were thrilled as peach pie. Every confirmation was just another step toward, really moving into what I felt would eventually be a permanent relationship and a marriage. That weekend and the next weekend, I just came to the realization that I had to get my nerves up to officially ask her to be my girlfriend. Believe it or not, after all of those weeks during the summer, I hadn't asked her to be my girlfriend. I looked her in the eyes and said, will you be my girlfriend? She'd been waiting for that for a long time. And she said,
yes. I said, yes, I will be your girlfriend. And, when I think about how I felt when he would leave to take the bus to go home, of course, I was just like, oh, he took 2 buses and a train to get here. How nice. This is my Superman. This is my Wonder Guy. But I would reflect. I think reflection is so powerful because I would reflect on the conversations we had, or the games we played, or the strategies we used to solve the game, or how we worked together. I was just thinking about everything that occurred without any of the quote unquote romantic things that Hollywood says you have to have a meaningful relationship. Here I had somebody who could think critically, who could communicate, who could collaborate, and who was demonstrating character and all of these things.
And it was just fulfilling knowing as I prepared for college that I had somebody special in my life, so I didn't have to worry about the distractions, and it was great. And I just also want to say that there was not a great physical sexual attraction. It wasn't let's get together and make out, and it was a combination of knowing this could potentially be a future that I could have with someone who loves the Lord and someone who's intellectually stimulating and spiritually grounded. So the focus was really building this friendship and really getting to know her.
Yes, and we did that.
Yeah.